Well, there's definitely a conflict of interest with one of his investments where he's cooperating with a China Investment Corporation or the Chinese Sovereign Wealth Fund. But he also has been criticized for some hypocrisy because of his investments in the manufacturing sector here in China. As we found out, even though he has been a fierce critic of China, he has actually benefited himself from the manufacturing might in China, as we found out in a factory town called Jiaxing.
I'm in an industrial park in Jiaxing, China. It's about a 2-hour drive from Shanghai, and over there is a factory that U.S. Commerce Secretary nominee Wilbur Ross invested in. The factory opened in 2007. It produces jean fabric for an American company that at the time was owned by a textile group controlled by Wilbur Ross. Now, the factory was built as part of an effort to save costs. Production in the U.S. textile industry was moving overseas, so the company, as it was building up this factory in China, simultaneously was downsizing its staff in the main facility in North Carolina, so much so that the U.S. Labor Department offered trade adjustment assistance to the American workers. Wilbur Ross sold out of the textile operation only weeks before the U.S. presidential election. His office and the denim company declined to comment to CNBC. The irony is that as Ross and his colleagues at the Trump administration criticized China for stealing jobs, factories on the ground are battling rising costs. And people in manufacturing towns like this one are increasingly worried about production moving to places that are even cheaper than here. Eunice Yoon, CNBC Business News, Jiaxing, China.
So what does all this mean then for how Wilbur Ross could deal with China as Commerce Secretary? Well, in some of the conversations that I've been having here, there has been some hope that because he does have real life hands-on experience in the global supply chain, that he actually might turn out to be a much more moderate voice in the Trump administration, despite all the tough talk today.